His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality. You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your
Stop
meat.
talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps
Yasuhiro Hakagaru, right? That is the only person he could have been referring
So,
to.
in other words,
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going so far as to hide their bodies? A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
what is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can forgive him. To kill two of our friends. Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game. Although this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble. Yes, it does look that way. I don't believe it, honestly. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this, to make sure everyone else survives. I just have to do it! Investigate. First, I better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamato and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it.
very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. Excuse me. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file would anyway. Maybe. Well, there's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko? Without a doubt, she has an alibi for Celeste and Hifumi, for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude! I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the class first trial?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification to it. So, are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget. No matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like
well,
Okay. Let me take the opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, we need to determine
extreme!
the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened, so just one
Well
person?
now,
That's enough explanifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck! So, there can only be one blackened, and an accomplice wouldn't benefit. then I can't see why any way Kyoko would be connected to the case after all. You might be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation. I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information. You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone as a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend genocide jail. What? I'm offended! When did you? I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl.
Huh?
Milk sack?
You gotta be kidding.
Why do I gotta be a suspect? Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know? She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And then the bodies disappeared. She was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body. Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone with everyone else when everyone else knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappear.
So then,
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure. I'd be totally useless on this investigation.
It's all
anyway.
clear now.
Then let's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi. So figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. It's not. Monokuma file number 3 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Let's see. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what he was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way, there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body moved. Okay. Blue tarp has been added to the truth bullet section. Hifumi's big, cold body is lying on the floor, but his not in the tarp though. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the notes from the nurse's office, where he was discovered to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's no good. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it. His glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're completely clean? Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? Hifumi's glasses has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Interesting. Byakuya, did you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone else could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name.
In other words,
then there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kind of dumb, but do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about this case? Well, no. There are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete the investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing two people? What? Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing two people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out. Hold on. Perhaps. I see. So that's what that means. Is everything okay? That's enough. Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation. Goodbye. Thank you. Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? There are many aspects to the incidents this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. Would you like my help? Of course. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up in the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in some strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costume itself. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then, right after that, Celeste screamed. This time, she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like me. I saw him, that strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Huh? What's that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse. which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However,
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. How would that have happened though? There's a couple of things that's throwing me off. Wasn't it Hina? I want to say earlier, like way earlier in the conversation we was having, it was her or Celeste, and I'm thinking it was Hina. I can't remember exactly, but one of them had mentioned bodies, right? Had mentioned bodies, but that was it was Celeste. It was Celeste. She had mentioned bodies, right? Had been like as in plural, but the only person that she should have known at that time was dead was Hifumi. She wouldn't have known Taka was dead because when we met her, it was in the hallway because we was going back to look at Hifumi's body because our character Makoto told Sakura and Byakuya, who was in there, but also Toko, but was passed out. So when we ran into Celeste, it was in the hallway. So how would she have known that Kiyotaka was dead as well? So when she said that, like kind of like red flagged me, but I didn't really mention it or think too much of it. But now she's talking about, Sakura's talking about, she remember hearing the body announcement, right? But they were shocked when they heard it. So like if you already heard the body announcement, right, why would you be shocked at Hifumi being dead, right, when he already was attacked already, right? And then on top of that, if she's talking about this body announcement for Taka's body, it wouldn't have gone off because of the fact that that wouldn't make sense because we had to go and find them, right? So the body announcement, I think, is only in that room, right? And then they had to go find them because I went out and searched for them. So you would think she's talking about, Sakura's talking about the body announcement in that specific room. But the body announcement is only supposed to go off when 3 people are there and discover the body. So I'm not like, those two things throwing me off. I don't know if it's like a glitch in the system or if that's like purposely done for you to catch potentially. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, they did have 3 people because it was Toko that was in that room. Never mind. But still, Celeste, what she said is still kind of like a red flag. We ran into Celeste. We ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko, who and rushed back to the equipment. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all of this or something? This time, Taka's body had disappeared. So from there, we began to search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. And there we just rediscovered the 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
However,
looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime.
So,
Hey, Makoto. I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up and looked around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but
And we came right to the repository, you know? Looked around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. Exactly. We couldn't get inside. It was locked. Nigga, you know that, because we tried it. And when we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wondered the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Alright, let's go. There's only one way out of this room, through the door that Hina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from the inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from the inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from the inside of the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone to the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims there was no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that certain someone, repository door has been added to the truth bullet section of your truth book handbook. All right. So locked door. Did Hina and Sakura stay here the whole time? There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall. Although some are mallets. Could the justice hammers have been designed using these models? Either way, all the hammers have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait! For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all. It's just wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added to the truth book section of your handbook. All right, and I had said something. Y'all see how I'll be spotting like these details? If you think back to earlier in the video, I mentioned that the hammers looked like they were missing, and also that the hammers are similar to that of the justice hammers, just painted, right? So clearly the killer clearly was probably using some material in here, because this is the art room, to paint the mallets that are here that are missing, right? Because you see we're missing some hammers, obviously, right? We're missing hammer 4, 3, 2 and 1. It looks like one would be like one of these two up here. So yeah, now we just got to see like the art supplies and stuff. Where the color stuff at? It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle, or maybe that's what they use for Hifumi. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh? But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation of that? It has to be moving Hifumi's body. Respiratory dolly has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First, the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room where Taka was found. Let's go to the equipment room first, since that's on the same floor. Or, yeah, the equipment room, since that's on the same floor. spicy, y'all. Getting spicy. It's heating up. It's heating up. Don't y'all love it? Don't y'all love it? Having to investigate and figure this stuff out is challenging, but it's a good challenging, especially when you figure it out and find out. Yep, and you can see tire, like, yep, you can see, but that's where Taka's body was at, wasn't it? But you can see, like, the tire marks, like, swerving up out of there, so, definitely. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the bodies away.
What?
I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. So she was sleeping on the ground when the killer carried the bodies away. Huh? This turtle. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. And just recently, too. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using this dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that would definitely have been possible. Equipment room bloodstain has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. There's still a mystery, total mystery. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. Thinking it still kind of doesn't make sense, because where would they have like put and placed Hifumi, right? But I'm thinking because Hifumi got hit with mallet, Justice Mallet 3, right? And that didn't kill him. So you would need either the same one and try to hit him with it again, or you would need Justice Mallet 4, right? But we just said, Makoto's just said that Justice Hammer 4 was used to kill Taka. Taka clearly isn't as big and wouldn't require as much force to kill as Hifumi. So why would they use a bigger hammer on Taka than Hifumi, right? And then we see the tire marks, right? So what if Hifumi was killed in this room, then was moved, which, like I said, that still wouldn't make sense. Why would you move him to the 1st floor? And then move him back here. Oh no, because his body was found. Why would you move him to the 1st floor and then move him back up to the 3rd floor to the repository? Unless you had to, right? But like I said, it doesn't make sense that you hit Hifumi in the head with Hammer Justice 3, and obviously as these increase in numbers, the bigger they are, right? So clearly you couldn't kill him with 3, so that means you would naturally need to go for a bigger one, right? You wouldn't need Justice Hammer 4 to kill Taka, because he's not as big or heavy and wouldn't be as challenging to kill as Hifumi, right? So why would they kill Taka with Justice Hammer 4, right? And plus we saw more blood on Hifumi's head when we went into saw him for the 2nd time when he was in the thing. So I'm thinking that they obviously killed Hifumi because that's where he was at in the room, right? Killed Kiyotaka somewhere else, brought him in here to make it seem like he wasn't killed there, and then to switch stuff up, right? And then reverse, like, my brain's all over the place, but it's somewhere around there. That's what I'm thinking. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. Yeah, this one's a smaller hammer. I think Kiyotaka was killed here, and Hifumi was killed in the other room, and they switched them. I just don't know why they would switch them, unless you're trying to cover for stuff. Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. What are you investigating, Celeste? I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hero might be hiding something. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body. How Hifumi's body was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Indeed.
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone? We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then, the killer was able to get it in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Celeste account has been made, has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. What's over here? I thought it, okay, there we go. I thought it highlighted. A refrigerator. I wonder if there's anything left in. After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. There's a bunch of blood packets in here. For blood transfusions, I guess? It doesn't help me, though. I'm not a vampire. It's just a normal trash can. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glass cleaning cloth. And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. Ugh. But it's also covered in blood.
Oh.
Ah. Did you find something? Yeah. There was a cleaning cloth in the trash can. A cleaning cloth. And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either. But I think it might be important. I mean, obviously, it's a glasses cleaning cloth. Who is the only person in here that wears glasses? Hifumi, right? Hifumi, right? What if another thing that I've been thinking about is Hifumi and Taka, right? They could have killed one another, or one of them killed the other, and then like through the guilt decided to kill themselves as well, right? It could be something like that, murder, suicide type thing, because both of them were super passionate around the Chihiro's programming software. So I could see them possibly doing that, right? And that's why you see the bodies like see that. I don't know. Like, I'm just brainstorming a bunch of stuff, but that's also another idea that I was thinking about. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have. I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note that Hero wrote to us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation. Goodbye. Yasuhiro's message has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting there for me? If it's another body, bro, I swear to you. I swear to you if it's another body. Like the other theory I was thinking is Kyoko and one of the other people. I was thinking Kyoko and Celeste, Kyoko and Hina, or Kyoko and Hiro. Because I'm thinking Kyoko would be able to, because like the what Monokuma said was like kind of like weird. He was, when he was talking about the math, like the partner that's in it for the crime, he was talking about finding, you have to find the mastermind behind it, like that planned it and carried it out, right? So that was making me think, like, what if the person who does the killing isn't the mastermind and they just do the killing, right? So would that mean we would still have to get the mastermind even though the person who killed the person wasn't the mastermind? So that just kind of like raised a red flag at the time. And like I said, I didn't really go too deep into it, but that's what I was thinking when I heard that, because why would you say we have to find the mastermind who planned it and carried it out? Obviously, if we're talking about the killer would be the one who planned it and carried it out. So why would you go out your way to say specifically that we have to find, right? After we're already talking about an accomplice, right? You go out your way to specifically state that you have to find the person who planned it and then had it carried out. Like, why would you go out your way to say that, right? It just didn't make sense, and that was like kind of a red flag for me that I had caught on to on there. So Kyoko, being the detective that she is, she would be able to put something together and plan it out and be the actual mastermind. That's why I'm thinking she had someone, like if it's her, had someone with her, either it be Hiro, right, just as Byakuya was saying was a trap, or that's if Hiro isn't dead when we walk in this room, or Celeste would be my other one, just because in some of the scenarios, like I said, I'm still tripped up about the fact that she mentioned both people being dead before we even told her that, unless in that cutscene that we didn't see when they was running from the physics labs to the nurse's office, they told her, but I didn't see that happen, right? So she shouldn't have known that Kiyotaka was dead. So her saying that still is like questionable to me. And then she could have been in places like when Hifumi, and if like Hifumi got messed up, right? She could have been the one who did it, right? Especially seeing how in love he was with her. Like, so it's just like my mind's rambling around a lot, and there's a lot of things being tossed in it, but that's pretty much what I'm thinking. The door is unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but this is Hiro's room. There's all kind of weird stuff in here. Where'd he even get all this stuff from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up, which means he can't really complain if I don't get permission, if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy though. How does a bathroom even get this dirty? We're not going to say anything about the little picture things he got on there. Okay, nothing there. Nothing on the table. Boxes. I think there's something in the cardboard box. Oh, it's blueprints for something, and that's Robo Justice. What you mean for something? You couldn't see that? Something's made out of. It looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster. Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hero's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Have the arms been like this? Same penmanship. Ah, all right, Kyoko. Okay. Same penmanship. Or I'm trying to think, was the notes written by Hiro? No, I'm pretty sure he said it was Kyoko who wrote those. He was just distributing them and getting everybody to meet up. Okay, but that penmanship is the same as that note. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. Different color though. Surveillance camera. Wasn't trying to look at that. Alright, that looks like it's everything. Koto! Big news! Big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too! Robo Justice? It's Hero wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think Hero and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could.